Well, Dr. Bill. Dr. Bill. I guess, from what I understand, we're supposed to have, with the heat indexed, we're supposed to have a high of 100 degrees today in northeastern New Jersey.
It's already there.
It's already there, but it looks like a thunderstorm.
No, it looks like it's going to be in New York. North of Bergen County.
In other words, the storm is traveling east.
Yeah, it's dipping down, coming east, what is it, southeast? Southeast. But it's up there in those New York counties.
Oh, yeah? See, I don't know if you could see it.
No, can't see it.
No, you won't be able to see it, but I know I got my Scorpion belt buckle, and I got my Tony, I don't even know if you can see this. I got my Tony Llamas, Tony Llama boots, cockroach killers, and we can't see my Scorpion belt buckle because, well, maybe you can. But what I'm going to do, oh, excuse me, I didn't know we were on the air. Welcome to Progressive Discussions. I am your host for Progressive Discussions, James P. Madonna, and I am with my co-host and mentor, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman, the Pope of the Internet, and founder of Newsletter Censored, the backbone of our organization in 1977. How are you feeling, sir?
Okay, okay.
It happens to be Saturday, July the 7th, 2012. Already, and we had well, I had a very, very fun-filled 4th of July. We ate like pigs, you know, good barbecue food and grog and spirits. And but I stood inside because it was in the upper 90s with the humidity and the heat, and I stood in my sister's fiance's ice cold central air conditioning with all the food and the expensive Italian salami and the provolone on whole wheat cracker and the wine and the high quality Scotch whiskey and the rum with, of course, my squeeze of lime wedge on the rocks the way I like it. Oh, this is me prop. It is an imported, a blackthorn weapons grade shillelagh imported from Ireland. It helps me emphasize certain things. I love waving it around. I enjoy waving it around. It's like a gavel. Anyway, I'm going to get... I don't have any particular subject to talk about, even though a lot is going on in the news, which will probably come up in the recent articles that the Reverend Dr. Bill will read, and we will get to the reading early today. But I want to... We wear many hats here at Newsletter Censored, Mega Life 21. And one of those hats happens to be that we are activists, politically, health-oriented, you know, nutrition, alternative medicine, holistic health, which happens to be on the air right now. Holistic health, but we're also consumer advocates, and anytime we get tips on how people could save money, we share them. Oh, animal rights activists, we're all kinds of activists. Oh, by the way, let me salute my very, very fast-growing, exciting new group that I started, besides the meal ticket. It is called Holistic Health Talk, named after my talk show here on Mega Life 21, hard-hitting internet talk radio station. And it is growing very fast with many members and many good banners and valuable information. So I salute it. I salute with my lucky shillelagh that it sees much prosperity, and I thank you for all your support, all the members that I have now, which is starting to get close to 200 after just about a week. Yeah, give or take about a week. So I salute Holistic Health Talk. And also Tom Mulvihill, the beer whisperer. I will be doing a new show. I think it's volume 13 of, you know, the beer whisperers. We are fine food and beer critics, craft beer, and we will be doing a new show tonight. Now, Here's the tip. When I was a kid, my grandfather taught me this, and I didn't believe him because I was young, and you know, everybody in my family made fun of him for being very frugal, a little tight with the dollar. But he taught me certain things, like for instance, if you're gonna turn, if you're in a car and you're gonna turn at a corner, and you technically really do not have to use your brakes, you can turn without using your brakes. So this way you'll save wear and tear on your brake pads. If you don't have to, if you're not going that fast and you don't have to stop, don't wear your brakes out. He taught me that. He taught me if you're going down the hill, you got momentum of gravity, whatever, don't accelerate unless you absolutely have to. If you're driving and you see the light turn amber or yellow going from green to amber, don't rush. Don't step on the accelerator and rush up to the stoplight or traffic light, because it's going to turn red anyway. Then you got to jam on your brakes to stop. He says roll, slowly roll when you see the light go from green to amber. Roll to the stoplight, because it's going to turn red anyway and you're going to have to stop anyway. Why wear your brakes out? So my grandfather taught me a lot of things. He also taught me that he taught me about politics, and I didn't believe him until later, after he passed away. He said that with the Democrats, you will receive a few crumbs. With Republicans, you will receive absolutely nothing. And he called Republicans right-wing fascist reactionaries. This was way back when.
Well, okay. It's because they've always been, except in the Civil War. Except at their inception.
Right.
They were totally different.
Totally different.
And then they became enamored of the big boys. And now they are ass kissers for the big boys.
Yeah, Abraham Lincoln was not really a right-wing,
that's correct,
right-winger at all. And weren't they called the Whig Party at one time, Republicans? Or is that just a separate party?
Separate party.
Okay.
They grew out of the several parties.
Okay, here's the tip. My grandfather taught me how to save a lot of money on razor blades with shaving. Okay, first of all, this is a shaving brush made of genuine badger hair, imported from Germany.
Germany?
It wooden handle. Okay.
Why ain't it imported from Wisconsin?
Screw Wisconsin.
They got badgers up there.
They got cheese up there too.
I'll take the cheese.
I'll take the cheese. I love cheese. All right. I use my mother's Dove soap. Forget about the shaving soaps. They're too drying. She's got a bar of Dove soap. Very moisturizing. So what I do is I run the shaving brush under very hot water, and I go straight down on top of the bar of Dove, and I turn it clockwise, counterclockwise, right on the bar of soap of Dove, or it could be any moisturizing soap. This gets all foamy and loaded with soap. Then I apply it, and if I need more, I do the same thing. A little hot water, again, clockwise, counterclockwise, on the bar, and I don't have to buy shaving cream. Savings number one. Savings number two. You could still get them in certain catalogs, but if you already have the old-fashioned stainless steel, shaver that holds, in this case I like Wilkinson sword, like the old commercial with the swords going ch-ch-ch. Wilkinson sword, double-edged blade. Now, you may think, how do I save money on razors? Well, you can pick this up in a hardware store or a dollar store, which is naturally $1. It's a whetstone for sharpening. It has, the dark side is the rough side, and the lighter side is the smooth side. What you do is you take your double-edged blade, you wet the whetstone, you're in the bathroom. You place the double-edged blade on top of the rough side, and with 2 fingers you press down hard and you go around in circles for an even amount of times. I chose 50 times. Then you flip it. You flip the blade over, and you do it again on the rough side, pressing down 50 times in circular motion. Then you turn it around for the smooth side. Again, little water. Again, you do the same thing. Press it down, going in circles, you know, about 50 times or 20 times, whatever it takes. Then you turn it around and do the other side. Razor sharp, just like brand new. Actually, it was sharper than when it was brand new, because when it was brand new, I felt a little pulling. This time, it was almost like I had no whiskers. And I was pretty scruffy today. So that, just try to pick up one of these. And if you can't find the Gillette or Wilkinson swords, look them up online. I'm telling you, you got two. This blade, my grandfather used to go for many months with one blade. There you go. How is that for savings, gentlemen? You're not gonna read this in Maxim magazine or any of those macho magazines. Only from Mega Life 21 and Newsletter Censored are you going to get tips like this. It's sort of like the tip this woman told me a long time ago, that a big cheap bottle of hair conditioner from the dollar store makes an excellent sexual lubricant. And it is not petroleum or mineral oil based, so it won't damage,
destroy your latex toys.
It won't damage your toys, ladies. Another tip. Now that's it. I'm done. You know, we're having a nationwide, excuse me, people. We're having a nationwide heat wave. Actually, it's global from what I understand, but it's really a bad situation, global warming wise. But that's it. Go on. First article.
First article is about your friend, Mr. Governor Christie.
Oh, God.
Of New Jersey.
Oh, that evil ogre. That greedy, stingy bastard.
A video of Governor Christie arguing with a critic on the boardwalk in Seaside Heights was posted on the gossip website TMZ on Friday.
I have to see that, because Christie doesn't like to debate people. He likes to drown them out and smother them with his big mouth.
Now, before I proceed, I want to make it clear that I saw Mr. Christie on a show the other day, and the gentleman interviewing him asked him about his weight. That people did not think he was healthy.
He's getting heavier, by the way.
So he went on about how difficult it was, but he's trying.
Oh, sure, he's trying.
Now, just keep this in mind.
He's trying to eat more. Yeah.
Just keep this in mind as we proceed with the article. He is trying to lose weight.
Well, he's doing a good job making social programs lose weight. Ha ha ha.
The latest example of the governor's brash and attention-grabbing style. The 30-second video jumps right into a verbal exchange involving the governor on the boardwalk located next to Island Beach State Park.
I know it well. It's a lovely place. So first Snooky causes controversy on the boardwalk, and now Christie.
Where Christie has been staying with his family in the official gubernatorial vacation home.
I kind of figured they had an official vacation home.
Christie, dressed casually in a light blue polo shirt and holding on to an ice cream cone.
He needs that like a hole in the head. Okay.
What did he say in the interview?
He's trying.
I'm trying.
I'm trying my best.
You're trying really good with an ice cream cone in your hand.
Maybe it was a sugar-free, low-carb ice cream.
Yeah, that'll be today on the boardwalk.
On the boardwalk in Atlantic City. Remember that? Go ahead. You know, it would be funny if he had one of those old turn-of-the-century bathing suits with the red and white stripes going horizontally. You know, where they were all covered up to here.
He walks towards someone off camera and says, "You're a real big shot. You're a real big shot, shooting your mouth off." The man, who is not shown, responds, "Just take care of the teachers. You're a big shot, shooting your mouth off, and then walking away," Christie says in response. He then walks back in the opposite direction. The governor is usually protected by state police at all times.
Yeah, he needs it.
Though it's unclear from the video if they were present at the exchange.
Maybe he could, actually having Christie at the beach is a huge favor to everyone else.
Yeah, but the PETA people might think it's a whale beached.
They might think it's a beached whale and try to resuscitate
Yeah.
it. They won't find a blowhole, though. No, what I was trying to say, having New Jersey Governor Chris Christie at the beach is a big favor to everyone because of the great shadow he casts on the beach for shade. People
you don't need an umbrella.
People won't have to rent beach umbrellas.
Yeah.
Man, I love mushrooms. I'm a fun guy. Go ahead.
Christie's office did not respond to a request for a comment on Friday.
This is precious, this first article, man.
But an administration official close to the governor said the man swore at him while he was with his children. He's a father, so it's difficult to blame him for his spontaneous reaction, the official
You
said.
should have a spontaneous combustion.
The exact nature of the dispute picked up on camera is unclear. The website said the two men argued about education policy.
That's only one policy Christie messed up on.
Christie, who considered running for president last summer,
Heaven help us all.
and is now discussed as a possible running mate for presumptive GOP presidential nominee Mitt Romney,
Talk about a field day for comedians, for David Letterman.
has made education reform a top priority.
Yeah, what about helping the poor and the homeless? Closing down food pantries Christie did.
Oh, that's not a priority.
Oh, that's not a priority.
Okay. Priority is giving tax breaks to millionaires. That's a priority.
Yeah, the people that line his pockets.
During his first 2.5 years in office, and he has not been shy about taking on the New Jersey Education Association, the state's largest teachers union.
I'm surprised he didn't enter the World Hot Dog Eating Contest Championship that took place for 4th of
Joey
July.
won again. I think it was something like 68 hot dogs.
Do you have to eat the white bread?
You have to eat the buns too.
That white bread bun?
Blech.
Yuck.
That's a lot of freaking hot dogs, though.
I wonder if they were freshly made frankfurters from a
Nathan's.
German. Because they sponsored it.
Yeah.
The sponsors. All right, go ahead.
Joey Chestnut.
Joey Chestnut won?
Yeah, he's won like five years in a row. The governor has also become known for brash exchanges, such as the one recorded on the boardwalk in Seaside Heights, which coincidentally is also a location for the boisterous MTV reality show, The Jersey Shore.
Hey.
Hey, yo, hey, yo, Snooky, what are you doing? Hey,
Some of Christie's more colorful moments made it onto a YouTube video the governor's office distributed this week to celebrate 5 million views on his official YouTube page. Others did not make the official video, including last week's outburst at a record reporter during a news conference in Monmouth County. During that exchange, Christie asked the reporter if he was an idiot.
He likes name calling, but heaven forbid you should call him names.
In response to a question about a planned special legislative session that the governor had announced earlier in the day,
Yeah.
but deemed off topic at the news conference. And in March, Christie got into a shouting match
Excuse me.
with a former Navy SEAL
Yeah, I remember that. Disrespecting the Navy SEAL.
who was questioning him at a public event about the planned merger of Rowan University with Rutgers Camden in South Jersey.
Didn't Rowan merge with Martin University?
Yeah, they were a comedy team at one time.
As in
Rowan and Martin laughing.
Rowan and Martin's laughing. That's where Joanne Worley used to say, "It's boring. It's boring." Artie Johnson used to play the German soldier. Very interesting, but stupid. Remember that? Anyway, back in the 60s. All right.
Back to Christie.
Back to Balloon Boy.
The shiny bluster and bravado that swept Governor Christie into office has lost its luster.
What's his luster? Except the luster on.
As he looks at a possible re-election bid, I find myself focused on his growing list of convenient political contradictions.
That's for sure.
Number one, campaign promises to not spend money that we don't have. Then proposing to cut taxes by using vaporous tax revenues and balancing a budget that has spending increases by borrowing more.
Yeah, money that we don't have. It's all in the military budget and Wall Street bailouts.
Well, it depends, you see, because Republicans always have money for tax cuts for the rich.
Right.
See?
But they don't have
You
money.
always find that money.
But they don't have money for the poor and low-income peoples.
Well, in the Obamacare,
and property tax rebates that you stopped, Chris Christie.
in the Obamacare bill that went before the Supreme Court and was deemed constitutional, there was a provision in there to put 16 million more people onto Medicaid.
A lot of people are not insured.
Yeah, well, this is a separate section. The other covers 30 million people, the other parts of the bill. But anyway, these 16 million, for the first 3 years of the program, the federal government would have paid 100% of the cost to the states. Okay? And then into perpetuity, the federal government would have paid 90% of the cost. But 26 Republican governors said they don't want the stinking program in their states. Not giving one crap about the 16 million poor people
Okay.
that would have been covered.
Then what do the 16 million poor people do when they get sick?
Die.
Or apply for charity care, which Republicans would probably end anyway.
Oh, they would like to start ending that.
So they can cull the herd. They can start culling the herd.
Yeah, because those people are just sucking up their resources.
Their resources.
That's correct.
The elitists, you see? Their resources. It's God's resources,
Remember,
but the rich have decided it was their resources.
under George W. Bush, royalties that usually are paid to the United States government from lumber companies and oil companies and gas companies, and
Right.
etc. Well, they weren't paid during the George Bush administration. You see, robbing the government. Us, we're the government, by the way. We are the government.
Yeah, but how many?
So if they want to make us small enough to drown in the bathtub,
They're drowning America.
yeah,
But
they're drowning us.
But when are people going to wake up and realize that we, the people, are the government? And that there's power in numbers. If the asses of the masses started voting for an independent, progressive independent third-party candidate and stopped voting for the two-party system, and if the asses of the masses realized how powerful boycotting is,
that would cut the money stream, wouldn't it? to the campaigns.
What better way to hurt the fat cats than to hurt them in the wallet? Just stop buying their products. But is the middle class boobs, lemmings, bubbleheads that voted in a Republican Congress, who are the ones that really failed, not Barack Obama, because they decide policy, the GOP Congress. If they stop believing the Tea Party, the Tea Publican, Rethuglican, lies, and realize the real truth of what's going on, then we wouldn't have any Rethuglicans in the Congress or Senate or the White House. If they only used a third of the brains that God gave them and used common sense, the proof is in the pudding. Well, the pudding is rancid. And it's not the fault of progressives. But there are certain sellout, traitorous, moderate to conservative demo rats, blue dog demo rats out there who sold out their voters. And that's part of the problem too. Gotta vote them out. Vote them out, people. Continue.
Christie also canceled the ARC tunnel due to unclear costs to the state, but pushing the Rutgers-Rowan merger before the cost of the merger was known.
Yeah.
He also delayed approval of medical marijuana for fear it might go against federal law, but pushing approval of sports betting that does go against federal law.
Hypocrites.
Also promising no new taxes and describing even fees as a form of tax, yet keeping the toll hike fees that were approved to fund the ARC tunnel.
Sounds like what Republican Mayor Michael Bloomberg said in New York about the quota on writing tickets by the New York City Police Department. It's not a quota. They don't have quotas. They're goals.
That's what Chief Justice Roberts did in the Supreme Court with the Obamacare. It's a tax. The mandate requiring you to purchase health insurance is a tax. It's a penalty. What the hell is he talking about? It's a penalty, not a tax.
Tax. Semantics, right?
Yeah. Also criticizing the New Jersey image that the MTV program Jersey Shore presents to the country. Then perpetuating that image with his growing list of high-profile, low-class public comments. Demonizing anyone who disagrees with him, yet willingly perpetuating his own demonic persona.
Oh, he's definitely demonic.
Bottom line, the vote he got from this former supporter is now in question. But don't be concerned if Christie loses his job as governor. Perhaps they are casting for a Jersey Shore sequel. The governor need only class up his act a little. He may not make it past the censors.
I think the Jersey Shore cast should campaign for the Democrat that runs against Chris Christie. I don't know if that'll help or hurt, but
But right now, it doesn't seem to be anybody.
we don't know who's on the horizon
Yeah.
for governor. But I hope it's somebody with a strong personality that that is not afraid to go toe to toe and fight Chris Christie. Roll up their sleeves and fight a good fight, and not be intimidated by Christie.
Well, we have more on Christie.
We might as well get them out of the way.
I was thrilled to read the letter regarding Governor Christie's poor manners. The letter writer called it incivility. Actually, I think she was being too kind. There have to be other sensible people who are bothered by Christie's bad behavior. Why is he allowed to get away with it?
Yeah.
I keep hearing that Christie is so popular. I can't understand why anyone from the state of New Jersey wants to be represented by a boor and a bully.
That's because these people believe the Republican lies and blame everything on poor people and low-income people and the bullshit tax and spend liberal, which is not true. You know, since you said social programs make up a small percentage of the budget.
That's correct.
You know,
but
and
there's something even more important than that. Every time he was in office, deficits rise.
Yeah.
Democrats bring down the deficits more than the Republicans ever have.
Statistically, well, he's a bully. You know, people can't debate with him. You know, he gets nasty, and you know, the people that like to blame everything on the poor for their high taxes and everything, they like the bullying done by Christie, because they want to blame somebody for their problems, and they want a scapegoat, and it's a shame that it has to be the poor.
Christie's method is to deflect attention from his positions and policies. Perhaps this is the case because his policies are certainly not helping the state. I am not a Christie supporter for many reasons. Still, I do try to maintain respect for all elected officials and for those who serve our state. Yet our governor seems to be lacking respect for his own position. I find his behavior embarrassing, appalling, and completely unacceptable for a public figure.
Oh, without a doubt.
On the news, Christie explained that his mother taught him to always say exactly what's on his mind.
Yeah, did his mother teach him to be rude and loud and obnoxious?
I doubt she meant it so literally.
Sure.
Even if she did, he is now an adult and a public figure. It is time to stop the immature name-calling.
That's what it is. He takes tantrums.
Supposedly, New Jersey is very serious about fighting bullies. How is this possible when the biggest bully is our own governor?
Yep.
I watched Governor Christie call a reporter stupid and an idiot for asking a question off topic. What really struck me about the video was the reaction of the officials standing behind Christie. In textbook bully fashion, they smirked and laughed at the governor's retorts. I would certainly like to see schools get more money to address this problem. But as long as we have a governor who is a bully, surrounded by enablers, the money won't make much difference. President Theodore Roosevelt, Teddy, believed that his position as chief executive provided him with what he called a bully pulpit.
That's why he said bully, bully, bully?
To espouse the ideas and policies that he felt would benefit the American people. Unfortunately, Governor Christie believes that his chief executive position provides him with a pulpit to be a bully. Whether journalist, public citizen, or private citizen, anyone who questions or voices disagreement with his views is publicly subjected to an angry and vitriolic personal attack. It is unfortunate that such a boorish individual, who exemplifies the most negative stereotype of a Jersey thug,
that's what he sounds like,
is the face of this state.
He's a very thug-looking.
Even more frightening is that someone with such little respect for others is the governor.
That wasn't trickle-down economics you just heard. I'm pouring my antioxidant-rich tea. There is no trickle-down economics, by the way.
Now, return to the turtle.
Oh, I love turtles.
Not this turtle.
Oh, what?
According to Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell,
Oh,
rich people ought to be allowed to use their money to buy politicians, but remain anonymous when they do so.
okay.
According to him, we unreasonably invade the privacy of rich donors when we want to know who's paying for the election of politicians. Senator John McCain vehemently disagrees. He and Senator Russ Feingold wrote the law that tries to get campaign funding out in the open. This is anathema to McConnell. I'm wondering how McCain ever got the Republican nomination for president 4 years ago.
McCain is like an old-fashioned Republican. Like Richard Nixon was.
But he had to suck up to the conservatives when he ran. Even bringing on board the doofus.
Don't say her name, because then I got to get out the slide whistle. Yeah, you know who I mean. The chick?
Yeah.
Who's attractive for an older woman, but is a complete political moron. And she was former governor of Alaska. I won't say her name, because then I got to get the thing out, which I'll get out later.
It's becoming increasingly apparent that McConnell is the face of the party. The kind of Republican typified by McCain has all but disappeared.
Yeah.
McConnell's the one who proclaimed earlier and often that the first duty of true Republicans is to deny President Obama a second term. And they have been doing exactly that. The Republican majority in the House of Representatives consistently passes draconian legislation that they know will not survive in the Senate or get past an Obama veto. Forget fair consideration for anything the White House proposes. In the Senate, the Republican minority consistently uses the filibuster to stop any Obama administration proposal. There's no question about it. Republicans are dancing to McConnell's tune by taking every opportunity to undermine the president and protecting wealthy political contributors. And along comes Mr. Romney, who stands for what?
Pure greed and stupidity.
As long as Romney's political countenance remains a pained blank stare, Mitch McConnell will remain the face of the party.
Okay, now who is that doofus you were talking about before? That was John McCain's running mate.
It pains me to bring this out in my throat.
Just say it.
Sarah Palin.
As in, say, sound like a sheep. Sarah Palin.
Sarah Palin.
Who I affectionately call the human slide whistle because of her annoying voice that goes up and down, like the feeling of listening to somebody take a nail across the chalkboard. When I hear Sarah Palin, I don't hear any intellect at all. I hear a slide whistle. sometimes it gets more annoying like this. Sarah Nayland Palin and possibly Michelle Bubblehead Bachman.
Yeah.
Yes. The slide whistles. Oh, we are now going to take a momentary break. It is now time for the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman's gastronomic delight known as lunch, and we'll be back with progressive discussions, and we'll do promo. So we'll do that. You know, it's amazing with you know, I noticed that, Dr. Bill, there's a lot of great anti-conservative articles in the newspaper, but I'll be damned if we hear any interviews or see any FaceTime on television, primetime TV or cable, that displays this conservative bashing verbally. I never hear it on TV. I only read about it like we're reading today. But no FaceTime on television for the real truth and to hear real progressives. Just thought that was interesting.
Well, that's because they're friends of the corporations.
Talk about the media.
Yeah.
The American media. That's the reason why.
They're not going to say bad things about their people. Their supporters.
No, not on primetime TV or unless you listen to Stephen Colbert or Jon Stewart or, you know, some people on, what is it, MSNBC?
Cable. That's cable.
Yeah, cable. But I'm saying progressives and the real truth.
And they can only go so far.
Yeah, they don't get real FaceTime, unfortunately. But take a break here. Hello, people. This is James P. Madonna of Progressive Discussions, of course, and I just wanted to show you what was voted the #1 all-natural indoor air purifier of all houseplants, the Golden Pothos, spelled P-O-T-H-O-S, the Golden Pothos, otherwise known as the Devil's Ivy, originally from the Solomon Islands of the South Pacific. And this is it. Very healthy. It was a mere sprig when I brought it to the Newsletter Censored Research Center in northeastern New Jersey. It was a little baby, and through proper miracle grow fertilization and watering, you got to let the soil dry out, by the way, with this plant between waterings, and miracle grow, of course, it got quite large. Actually, this was trimmed down. This was crawling many times, and it makes roots if you keep it in a vase of water. I mean, it roots very well. Very hardy plant. It was trimmed many times, and the vines were put in water, and that's it. It looks big now, right? It was much larger than this. Actually,
it was growing across the ceiling.
It was growing across the ceiling, wrapping
now
around.
It's bunched together like a bush.
Like a bush. Push in the bush. Push. Remember that? Was it Musique? It was 3 tall black girls back in the disco days. Push. Anyway, push in the bush. Anyway, it's beautiful. Healthy. And that shiny leaves. See? The new growth. Shiny leaves. You know. Gets good light. This is, of course, a full spectrum Vitalite up here.
It's got a nice spider web on it to catch the bugs.
Got a nice spider web growing. So that's it. I just thought I'd show you what the pothos looks like. Oh yes, Dr. Bill. I see that you are really enjoying your lunch. Christie, beached whale on the Jersey Shore. Sounds good.
Beached or bitched?
Well, he was bitching, of course, when the guy tried to debate him, but he's a beached whale. But, you know, I'm sure he saved a lot of people money on beach umbrellas because of the large shadow that he must have cast on the beaches of Seaside Heights, New Jersey, which is the home of the MTV hit Jersey Shore, the Jersey Shore. You know, I'm sure if Snooki was there, actually the whole cast can put their beach blankets around where Christie was sitting. I'm sure he was sitting on the beach and not really doing anything, you know.
Well, he was enjoying his ice cream cone.
Oh, the man who tells people he's trying to lose weight?
Mm-hmm.
He's trying to lose weight? Yeah, he's really trying, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of Republicans, I just thought I show you the patron saint of all right-wing Rethuglicans. They probably light novena candles to this man. Ronald Reagan, the man who shifted, this is the real world, this is the truth. The man who shifted the tax burden from the rich to the middle class, I guess, and the poor through consumption taxes, right? In the 1980s. This is the man who did it to you. Middle class lemmings that voted for a Republican Congress.
And allowed the credit card companies to screw you good.
Ronald Reagan's phony baloney trickle-down economics. As you can see the photo of Ronald Reagan urinating on America. Okay, Ronald Reagan pissle-down economics, because what actually happened was siphon up to the elitists, siphon up to the 1% economics, siphon up, never trickle down. It was never meant to work. Pissle down. Ronald Reagan's Reaganomics. Trickle down economics was bullshit, and that is it. Now we go to promo. Oh, actually, before I do this, let me talk about this. See this gentleman next to me? This is a self-portrait of my co-host and mentor, the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. The Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman is a fine watercolor artist and gouache or gouache?
Gosh.
Gouache. It's a type of material that you paint with. Watercolor and gouache artist. And this one here is watercolor. You can see the William J. Eisenman collection by going to Google and simply typing in the William J. Eisenman collection. And you will see the entire slideshow. I'd say it's about 99.8 or 99.9% of all of his paintings. Of course, he's always working on new projects, which he is, which haven't been scanned yet and put on the internet. We technically have the entire album of the William J. Eisenman collection on our Newsletter Censored Facebook promo page, but guess what? Thanks to the corporate geniuses at Facebook, you cannot see the promo page any longer unless you have a Facebook account. So now you have to have a Facebook profile in order to see, you know, the Newsletter Censored Facebook promo page. So you're better off just simply going to Google and typing in the William J. Eisenman collection, and just like everything else. Actually, if you type in Megalife 21, if you type in the God Project or Censored Archive Classics, Censored or God Project on Demand Archive Classics, it'll all come up. So, you know, you don't really have to memorize any particular link. Okay, and if you see something you like, go to newslettercensored.com and email Dr. Bill and ask him if the painting is still available, and you can acquire one, procure one. The bidding starts at $500 each, but make him a good gift offer. Now, This is the very backbone of our organization. This is the very best way to join our organization. Okay? This is what it's all about. Founded in 1977 by the Reverend Dr. William J. Eisenman. This is hard-hitting truth and news, fighting censorship and conservative propaganda. Okay? This is the kind of information that most people are afraid to hear. Can you handle it? This newsletter discusses the 5 taboos of American life, which is politics, religion, health, human sexuality, and child rearing. There's more information in the newsletter than there is on our talk shows or on our websites. And in order to be a part of our organization, get your subscription with your gift to support this work. Get your free annual subscription with your gift to support this work. This is hard-hitting information that you're never going to hear or read in the mainstream media or the mainstream press. You need newsletters censored. You need newsletters censored to learn how to defeat a conservative. We are living in the end times, and you need newsletters censored. So get your subscription now. And this is a brand new issue. It is volume number 120, right? Titled Screwed by William J. Eisenman, PhD. And it also contains The God Project by William J. Eisenman, Doctor.
A very important one, by the way.
Doctor of Divinity, and it is called simply The Bible, which teaches you misguided, deceived people out there what the Bible really has to say
about certain important subjects.
Not what right-wing zealot fundamentalists, Republicans tell you what the Bible says, the lies, but what the Bible really has to say. So this is a very important God project. And then last but not least, we have Sexuality, a Holistic Approach by William J. Eisenman, PhD. Okay. He's also a Doctor of Divinity, like I said before. Go to newslettercensored.com, click on the printable order form, and with your gift to support this work, get your free annual subscription. Get it now. Newsletter Censored. You need Newsletter Censored. All right. Got that out of the way. And let's see. I'm sure you enjoyed, oh, well, I hope you enjoyed that little extra consumer tidbit after I taught you men out there how to save money on shaving at the beginning of the show, and also showed you men and women the #1 natural indoor air purifier, the golden pothos plant, otherwise known as the devil's ivy, from the Solomon Islands of the South Pacific. It is a very common house plant. I highly recommend that everyone get one, and keep it away from keep it away from heating systems. If you have forced air heat or baseboard, if you have steam radiator heat, don't worry about it. But you got to, make sure it doesn't dry out, because if it's near a heating system, it will die. All house plants will die. And don't let an air conditioner directly blow on your house plants either. But if you do not have the luxury of bright light in your home, I would suggest you get full spectrum daylight compact fluorescent bulbs to save electricity, okay, for your living room or all your rooms, and the plants do great under those kind of lights. They use supposedly 75% less electricity. Excellent for the green movement, the compact fluorescent bulb. And I have a feeling, Dr. Bill, that the LED lights, which have already replaced fluorescent lights with the pet tray, like aquariums and other things, I have a feeling LEDs might replace the compact fluorescent for the home, because they are bright and they use, I think, less electricity than the fluorescent lights. Fluorescent bulbs, yeah, the LEDs. Yeah. All right, let me make myself a little useful. Now we will return to the articles. Okay.
Americans will soon be able to test themselves in the privacy of their own homes for the virus that causes AIDS.
Oh, gee. Is it accurate, though?
Now that the Food and Drug Administration has approved the first rapid over-the-counter HIV test.
Really?
The OraQuick test detects the presence of HIV antibodies using a mouth swab and returns a result in 20 to 40 minutes.
Wow.
Government officials estimate that about 240,000 people, or 1/5 of the roughly 1.2 million people carrying HIV in the U.S., don't know they are infected. Testing is a chief means of slowing new infections, which have held steady at about 50,000 per year for 2 decades. FDA officials said the test is designed for people who might not otherwise get tested.
True.
The availability of a home-use HIV test kit provides another option for individuals to get tested so that they can seek medical care, if appropriate. OraSure plans to start selling the test in October, both online and through retailers like Walgreens, CVS, and Walmart. It hasn't yet set a price, but expects the consumer version to cost less than $60, but more than the one marketed to health professionals, which costs about $17.50. CEO Doug Michaels said, "The price increase will help pay for a toll-free call center to provide counseling and medical referrals to test users. Each of the call center operators is bilingual in English and Spanish. They've gone through 160 hours of training on HIV counseling and testing. So they are highly trained professionals, and they'll be there to support the consumer." Michael said the company's marketing efforts will focus on populations at greatest risk of being infected with HIV, including gay, bisexual men, African Americans, and Hispanics.
Okay.
FDA stressed in its approval announcement that the test is not 100% accurate
What did I ask at the beginning?
in identifying people with the virus.
But they want to make money on this quickie home test, so they sell it, even though it's not 100% accurate.
Well, I have something to say when
Typical
I finish the article here,
typical
too.
capitalism.
A trial conducted by test maker OraSure showed OraQuick detected HIV in those carrying the virus 92% of the time, though it was 99.9% accurate in ruling out HIV in patients not carrying the virus. That means the test could miss 1 in 12 HIV-infected people who use it, but would incorrectly identify only one patient as having HIV for every 5,000 HIV-negative people tested. People who test negative should get retested after 3 months, because it can take several weeks for detectable antibodies to HIV to appear. The FDA has approved several other HIV test kits designed for home use, but they usually require a blood sample that must be sent to a laboratory for development. HIV awareness groups hailed the approval as an important step in expanding testing for the virus. This test will allow anyone to empower themselves to know their HIV status when, how, and with whom they want to. Experts say it's difficult to predict how widely the test will be used. According to the OraSure study, 41% of people who discovered they were HIV positive using OraQuick had never been tested. The company estimates that 9,000 new HIV carriers would be identified for every 1 million people who used the test. Based in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, OraSure has marketed the version of OraQuick to doctors, nurses, healthcare practitioners since 2002. When used by professionals, the test is shown to accurately identify both carriers and non-carriers 99% of the time. It is not clear why the test is less accurate in consumer trials. But researchers said they expected its sensitivity to drop when it was used by consumers. HIV eventually develops into AIDS unless treated with antiviral drugs. AIDS causes the body's immune system to break down, leading to infections that become fatal. My question is, since no one has ever seen the HIV virus,
Yes.
and there are 1,000 or more doctors and professionals who say that HIV is not the cause of AIDS, what are we testing? Antibodies to what? The other tests for HIV, supposedly, would come up with results positive when you had a cold. You had the flu.
Really?
PMS.
Really?
Like 29 other problems or infections, and the test would turn out positive.
Is that so?
Yeah.
Amazing.
So what are we testing?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to say that regardless of the virus or bacterial infection that is in you, and there are, God knows that there are many serious, life-threatening, potentially life-threatening viral and bacterial infections. My holistic health protocol would be for you people out there, once you're diagnosed as having such, is to get a high standardized extract of olive leaf extract with the highest percentage of oleuropein in it, capsules, okay, and possibly, if you can afford it, get a bottle of beta-glucans in capsule form. The beta-glucans have a very powerful effect on increasing the immune system, but if you take the olive leaf extract, the recommended dosage on the bottle every 4 hours, which is the Earl Mendel protocol recommendation, and if you read about olive leaf extract online and get a good book about it, you will see that olive leaf extract, which has been used for centuries, was proven to destroy every known virus and bacteria in vitro in the laboratory. So, and it's been proven on humans. I believe they used it in World War I and maybe World War II, I'm not sure, but of course the allopathic medical establishment and drug companies would never give any publicity to anything natural, because they can't patent Mother Nature and they cannot make a fortune on Mother Nature. But that's my protocol, that's my answer to this article. Okay, the next article.
Mitt Romney is a prominent member of the 1% of Americans whose wealth grew at the expense of the middle class.
Yeah. Yeah, he loved to downsize, Mitt Romney, right?
Yeah.
Fire people.
And outsource.
And outsource. Of course it grew. Through greed.
He has the supreme gall to blame President Obama for unemployment. Romney killed jobs in the corporations he took over and shipped jobs overseas. As governor of Massachusetts, he made college education less affordable. He courts the murderous gun lobby and supports subsidies for dirty and dangerous energy sources. Romney opposed going after Osama bin Laden and saving General Motors. In spite of him, bin Laden is dead and General Motors is alive. It's alive! It's alive!
General Motors is alive. I think they should follow the old-fashioned capitalist system, where if you have a business and you screw up and you go belly up, bankrupt, you should be left to die, just like they want the poor to die, the Republicans.
No, when they screw up and they're going to die, they want you to bail them out. Welfare for the rich.
Subsidies, bailouts.
It's a good thing.
That's a good thing. But for the little guy, for the poor,
no,
it's bad.
Bad. It'll make them lazy.
Yeah, make them
It'll
lazy.
make them lazy.
Now you see the hypocrisy surrounding Republicans? The devil's economics, the Republican Party, the GOP, the greedy old party. You see all the hypocrisy surrounding him?
Forget Romney's friendly-looking smile.
Yeah.
Instead of being of the people, for the people, and by the people, Mitt and his colleagues are selfishly making the United States of the rich, by the rich, and for the rich.
Well, doesn't a car dealer have a huge Cheshire Cat smile on his face? Doesn't any politician who's running for office have a big smile on his face?
They're taught to smile.
Yeah, I hear that Hillary Clinton is kind of grouchy when the camera is off of her. I hear she puts on a big smile immediately when she's on the air. That's what I hear.
Like beauty contestants, they learn to smile.
Oh, like the Price is Right models?
So the whiteys.
Oh yeah, the car show models, when they run their fingers up and down the sports car, the Lamborghini or the Ferrari, or the Price is Right girls, and they're da 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 da, and they're stroking the item and smiling with that fake smile. Or Miss America, how would you end war and world hunger? Well, let me tell you what I would do. You know, and a fake smile, saccharine sweet.
Scientists believe
I hate phonies like that. Yeah.
the God particle
Ah, yes.
that might explain the underpinnings of the universe is real. And they are about to present their evidence to the world. Physicists at the world's biggest atom smasher plan to announce on Wednesday that they have nearly confirmed the primary plank of a theory that could shape the scientific understanding of all matter. The focus of the excitement is the Higgs boson.
But they're studying matter. Why don't they study Christie next time he lies on the beach?
A subatomic particle that, if confirmed, could help explain why matter has mass.
So does Chris Christie.
A lot of mass. Which combines with gravity to give an object weight.
So does Chris Christie.
Researchers at the European Organization for Nuclear Research, or CERN, say that they have compiled vast amounts of data
Oh yeah.
that show the footprint and shadow of the particle, all but proving it exists, even though it has never actually been glimpsed.
Glimpsed.
CERN's atom smasher, the $10 billion Large Hadron Collider
I love that word. Hadron Collider.
on the Swiss-French border,
The Shillelagh Collider with the skulls of Republicans. Bow!
has been creating high-energy collisions of
The
protons
Hadron Collider.
to investigate dark matter, antimatter, and the creation of the universe.
I'm fascinated with antimatter. I hear it's the most powerful source of energy and power in the universe, if you can harness it.
Which many theorize occurred in a massive explosion known as the Big Bang.
The Big Bang, not that stupid sitcom that's on TV,
No.
but the real Big Bang Theory. And it's not sexual either.
Well, why not? All creation must have, if you read Wilhelm Reich, you see the cosmology and the coming together of two organ streams is the same as two individuals coming together in sex.
Yeah, like if
The
Chris,
sex energy is the life energy.
like if Chris Christie utilized the Big Bang, he would probably crush his female partner in one splat.
As George Carlin,
Yeah.
in describing these people, obese, fat,
I
whatever.
heard Gary Knowles.
Yes.
He likes George Carlin.
and what he said was,
That was great though. Friday.
yeah, the one he said was, how can this guy find his fucking penis?
You know, what a waste when that man passed away. George Carlin, I will go on record and say that George Carlin was the most intelligent, clever, witty comedian of all times.
All time.
Intelligence. The man is a legend. He's an icon. There will never be another George Carlin. Rest in peace, George Carlin.
The phrase God particle,
Yeah.
coined by Nobel Prize winning physicist Leon Lederman,
No relation to David
no
Letterman.
relation to David, is used by laymen, not physicists,
Layman.
more as an explanation for how the subatomic universe works than how it all started.
Right.
The Fermi Lab in Chicago,
Fermi.
Fermi, from Mr. Fermi,
Is he
the Italian guy,
Is he the foremost
Nuclear
authority on
physicist or
erections? Mr. Fermi? No?
whose competing atom smasher reported its final results on Monday after shutting down last year, said its data don't settle the question of game tantalizingly close.
Tantalizingly close.
The Higgs boson has been a concept intended to explain a riddle. How were subatomic particles, such as electrons, protons, and neutrons themselves, formed? What gives them their mass? The answer came in a theory first proposed by Scottish physicist Peter Higgs and others in the 1960s. It envisioned an energy field where particles interact with a key particle, the Higgs boson. The idea is that other particles attract Higgs bosons. The more they attract, the bigger their mass will be. Some liken the effect to a Higgs snowfield that affects other particles moving through it, depending on whether they are wearing, metaphorically speaking, skis, snowshoes, or just shoes. Officially, CERN is presenting its evidence this week at a physics conference in Australia, but plans to accompany the announcement with meetings at Geneva. The two teams, Atlas and CMS, then plan to publicly unveil more data on the Higgs boson at physics meetings in October and December. Each of the teams involves thousands of people working independently to ensure accuracy. Scientists with access to the new CERN data say it shows with a high degree of certainty that the Higgs boson may already have been glimpsed, and that by unofficially combining the separate results from Atlas and CMS, it can be argued that a discovery is near. California Institute of Technology physicist Sean M. Carroll said that if both Atlas and CMS had independently reached the high thresholds on the Higgs boson, then and only the most curmudgeonly will not believe that they have found it.
So what is your take on the God particle?
Well, it doesn't explain, the creation of matter. It only explains how matter can hold together and get bigger, I guess.
But not the creation. It still doesn't explain the creation.
They still go back and rely on the Big Bang.
Theory.
Yes, the theory.
Theory.
Something from nothing. That's the Big Bang.
Yeah, it's kind of like when the Republicans talk about social services. They always say the poor are getting something from nothing. But when they get something from nothing in the form of subsidies and bailouts, that's good.
Yeah, it's called capital gains.
The fat cats, yeah.
Capital gains.
Yeah, Ronald Reagan hated the capital gains tax. He wanted to do away with it. Remember?
I don't know if he hated it.
No, he used to bitch about it all the time, the capital gains tax. He used to say, end the capital gains tax, and he kept on talking about the line item veto.
Yeah, but ending the capital gains tax helps the rich.
Well, he says it creates jobs. He said it created jobs. Yeah, right.
See that
China.
That excuse it goes back 32 years.
Like Android, job creation, job creation, job creation, but they don't tell you where. Job creation. Yeah, in China, where the poor souls are getting 32 cents an hour at Foxconn, with no benefits probably, and the office workers in the Philippines are getting $1 an hour, if they're lucky.
Well, they want the United States to be down there to be able to compete with those people.
Okay, let me ask you a question. If the American worker makes the same as they do in the third world or in Asia or whatever, will the cost of living come down drastically? So how do people pay their bills? How do they pay their rent, their utilities, their grocery bills, car insurance, so on and so on? How do they do it?
Standard of living will be lowered.
Oh, everybody will be like begging in the streets, I guess.
Possibly.
And groceries.
But that's what they want. That's how you siphon it up.
Okay.
If you don't give it down, you siphon it up.
Who buys the products of the 1%?
They haven't thought that through.
When people don't have any money to spend.
They believe that the world is their oyster.
Really?
And if you don't buy it here, they'll sell it there.
And what happens when the corporate plutocracy impoverishes other nations, like it's doing slowly?
Well,
then they won't be able to.
If it's slow enough, they'll be rich by that time.
And they won't be able to buy their products either. But they don't think long term, Reverend Bill.
Quarter to quarter.
quarter to quarter is how the conservatives think. Never think long term. Okay, what you got?
And of
there?
course, they never think of the other
Other what?
person. It's always self-interest.
The devil's economics.
Correct?
Vanity, pride, selfishness. Greed is idolatry. It is a form of idolatry, isn't that right, Reverend Dr. Bill?
Well, yeah, because it puts that money or whatever money in place of your God. It becomes your God. So therefore, it's idolatry. Thou shalt have no other gods before me.
You see, we get to the point. We simplify things for the lay people out there, as well as the intellectual here at Newsletter Censored. Wait, does the Bible, does the Old Testament prohibit people getting tattoos? Somebody told me that it prohibits the markings on the body. Maybe it was Leviticus or somewhere.
Well, I would say that yes, it does, to answer that question. But you got to understand, a prohibit. Nobody is actually prohibited from doing anything, since God is not judging at this time.
Right, but
You can do anything you want.
But if the Old Testament says, don't eat,
was only for ancient Israel.
don't eat bottom-feeding scavengers.
Yeah.
Don't eat anything without a cloven. What is it? Without the cloven hoof?
God,
Yeah, and so on and
with
so
the
forth.
cloven hoof. God was only working with ancient Israel. One nation, okay, to be the exemplar for the rest of the world at that time. It didn't work.
So the dietary laws and the other miscellaneous laws in the Old Testament
Were for ancient Israel.
do not technically apply to modern people today. The Gentile.
It's not a matter of does it apply. A lot of those laws were done away with also.
I mean, like the dietary laws, right?
Yeah, you got to read Peter or 2 Peter.
Yeah,
or
don't
whatever.
eat scavengers, don't eat fish without scales, and so on and so on.
But that's not the point. The point is that the laws were meant for that nation.
Okay.
And since God is not judging today, that means that His word, His laws, are not given to the other nations at that time, nor were they now. Now, however, there is the commandment to bring the gospel, the kingdom of God, to all the world as a warning. Not as a thou shalt do. Because so many are going to die anyway.
Hey, you hear that, rapturous?
In the tribulation.
You hear that, rapturous? That feel that they're not going to be on the earth when the tribulation takes place?
Yeah, well, they're going to be here. Believe me. Once they see the elect going up and then, hey, how come I'm still here, man?
Well, you're not one of the 144,000.
Yeah.
But they claim that the elect means all the born-again
There's a number.
dispensation of grace, born-again
There's a number.
Christians. Number.
144,000. Not billions or millions. It's a number. 144,000.
It's not.
Period.
That's not much compared to the population of the earth.
Correct.
Isn't that a drop in the
A
bucket
drop in the bucket.
compared to the population of the planet?
A drop in the bucket.
That means a lot of people are going to go through the tribulation.
And a lot are going to be dead.
Killed it.
That will
Dead.
have to be, it's a long story.
Including
and
all the people that got their hands up in the air, speaking in tongues, going, ooh, I can feel it, oh, I can feel
But
it.
that's all pagans.
I can feel it, oh, start dancing around with tambourines banging and all that jazz.
That's all pagan stuff. They just don't realize. That's why this particular, the Bible God Project in this issue is very important. And if you're not going to get the issue, then go online and listen to it. And James is going to put it up on Facebook a couple more times too.
Go to Google. Go to Google and type in the God Project, Archive Classics, comma, and then type in the Bible, and it'll come up. And there's a nice slideshow. There's a nice new slideshow to watch too, right, Billy? You saw it.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, and you'll see it. I mean, you'll see it and hear it. And if you get interrupted, you can pause it. And if you want to get something to eat or go to the bathroom, you can pause it and come back and finish listening to it. Or you can listen to it over and over and over.
Yeah, you should listen to it over and over and over.
You can listen to it in your sleep for that, what is that? It's a subliminal,
yeah.
What is that stuff, the tapes they used to sell?
Subliminal education.
As you're sleeping, this thing is playing and it gets into your brain. Whatever you want. Whatever you want to do. It's video on demand. It's the God Project on demand. It's censored on demand. Archive classics. You know, it's like podcasting in a way. You click and you hear it, and you pause it, and you hear it again, and you play, and you stop, and this and that. It's just like
check the scriptures out.
Check the scriptures out. Yeah. Somebody on a very well-educated gentleman on Holistic Health Talk Facebook group was very interested in end-time prophecy, so I showed him some of the verses from Proverbs, you know, like about the rich giving to the poor, the ones that you use on the newsletter, and he never heard them before, and he found them.
Of course.
And he found them quite fascinating. I said, see?
And what's more fascinating is how the fundamentalist Christians, the counterfeit Christians, etc., get away with the opposite preachings.
They make God out to be just like them, a right-winger. They're trying to say God is a right-wing conservative Republican. Well, the verses in the Bible prove he's far from that. He's not that. He's the opposite of that.
Absolutely.
You know. Anyway, we have time.
Cannot think we cannot think of God in terms of politics.
Political affiliation. Okay? Political
Since God is not a respecter of persons.
And
he doesn't respect the rich, and he doesn't respect the poor. He doesn't even respect humans per se, since humans are worms and grasshoppers.
So how can you expect God to respect political views?
That's correct.
They're human. It's a human invention.
That's correct.
It's sinful anyway. Anyway, one last article for this week's Progressive Discussions. What do you have?
Michigan hopes to keep drunks off the road with help from a special message.
Drunks?
In men's bathrooms, featuring an attention-getting woman's voice.
Ooh. Thinking that there's a chick in the stall in the men's room?
Talking urinal deodorizers.
Does she say anything else while the man is at the urinal? Like,
they have been distributed.
My, you're rather large there, big boy.
They have been distributed to Michigan Licensed Beverage Association members in Wayne County, including Detroit. State officials announced.
Right.
A recorded message will play.
Right.
Reminding men who step up to the urinals
to shake it.
To call a cab.
If you shake it more than 3 times, you're playing with yourself? Is that what she says?
To call a cab or a friend.
To do what?
To get home safely.
Oh, okay. In the men's room.
Not only do we want to turn some heads and get people talking, we hope everyone takes the message to heart.
Yeah, with the crotch.
The motion-activated messages are part of a statewide 4th of July education and enforcement effort.
Might scare the shit out of a lot of guys.
The federally funded drunken driving crackdown runs through Sunday. It also includes stepped-up patrols in 26 counties involving a number of agencies. At first, it may be seen as humorous, but the seriousness of the message will stand out and encourage patrons to find a safe ride home. Talking urinal cakes have been used in other states for similar.
Could you imagine running a company
efforts.
that makes those damn things? Disgusting urinal cakes.
Says here, call a ride. Get home safe.
Well, the urinal cake is not speaking. It's like somewhere
Yes,
else.
it is. It's the urinal cake speaks.
Wait a minute. The urinal cake speaking?
That's correct.
But what happens? You mean even though it's full of piss?
It talks in a woman's voice.
But how does it? You mean?
Once it gets moved by your pee-pee,
You mean when the urine stream hits it, it talks?
it talks.
But does it serve the purpose as a urinal cake?
Absolutely. Same thing.
And it gets full of piss?
Yes.
And does it have batteries in it?
I don't know. It's probably got one of those.
Oh, I feel sorry for the custodian, the porter that has to change the batteries on these damn things.
Well, I'm sure they're gonna buy a new one.
Piss
and
ass.
Change the battery.
Unbelievable. Let me show you this damn thing.
Oh, man.
Urinal cakes.
That's the wrong
It's the
side.
wrong side, man. Hold on, people. This is gross. Let me know if. Hold on,
Yeah.
man. Here, could you see this damn urinal cake that talks?
Yeah.
Why? I mean, why can't it be? The speaker be like on the wall and just have the motion of the man approaching the urinal. Why do you have to pee on it to make it talk?
It's much cheaper this way.
Gross.
It's cheaper.
It's pretty
It's
disgusting.
speaking in a woman's
Everybody's
voice.
freaking urine keeps on hitting it, but what eventually it goes dead, right?
Eventually.
And then some poor soul has to change the batteries and pick this thing up.
It ain't gonna change no stinking batteries.
The urinal
You're gonna
cake.
toss it.
Yeah, well, use tongs to pick it up. Don't use your hand. Whoever's got to deal with this crap. See it?
Jeez.
The
Gonna
urinal.
save lives.
Save my. Get that fuck out of here.
What's the matter?
Yeah,
Boy, great
disgusting.
invention here. The guy's gonna make $1 million.
Yeah, I'm sure he is. I'm sure he doesn't have to discard any of them. The person who invented it. Well, that's it.
And on that note,
And on that note, what a way to end the progressive discussions. Talking urinal cakes. That with a sexy woman's voice that tells men, if you're drunk,
hey fella,
don't drive. Don't drink and drive. Hey fella,
put that thing away.
put that big thing away. Hey fella. Well, it better not be with Sarah Palin's voice. So really,
Oh, that would make that big thing small.
yeah. Hey fella, or any of the ladies from The View. Forget it. That'll make it shrink right away. Hey fella, hey big boy, put that gigantic kielbasa away. Are you drunk? Are you drunk? If you're drunk, call a cab. God, talking urinal cakes. Anyway, they won't be able to see. Let me show them my nice belt.
geez.
I'm not taking my pants off. I don't want you to get, I wore, beside my Tony Lamas, there's my Western, whatever, scorpion belt buckle. Alright. That I have on. Okay, I guess you see that, right?
Yeah.
Alright, and the belt. Alright. Thank you for joining us for Progressive Discussions. Wow, Dr. Bill, this has been a very enlightening, informative, fun-filled, amusing, unique, and wacky in some ways, and very different progressive discussions. We're throwing in consumer tips. We're talking about Christie, the beached whale on the Jersey Shore. We talked about the HIV, a great HIV article, a house plant that purifies your air. I mean, this was really fun. Fun and frolic. Hot fun in the summertime, like the song
it's really
goes.
Summertime too today.
Yeah, hot.
100.
Oh yeah. Well, we're inside with the air conditioning, but it's 100 degrees out there.
It's amazing the air conditioner just shut down. Too.
Yeah. Well, it's working. Knock on shillelagh. Hold on. Knock on wood. Oh, there it goes again.
Yeah.
Say so long to these people.
So long, people. And don't forget to obey the urinal cake.
Yeah, obey the urinal cake if you're drunk. And let's see. Don't forget to check.
Live to pee another day.
Live to pee another day, and don't forget to check out the brand new, and it's on the internet, the God Project on-demand archive classic titled The Bible. Google it now, and of course, get your annual subscription to Newsletter Censored. Bye-bye.